My name is Arthur Hayes. I'm 78 years old, a retired firefighter from Phoenix, Arizona, a man who has pulled strangers out of burning houses, walked into flames other people ran away from, and carried families through the darkest nights of their lives. Yet somehow the biggest fire I ever had to fight wasn't in a building, but in my own family. Because the day I realized my son and daughter-in-law were trying to push me into a nursing home behind my back was the day I understood. That age doesn't weaken you, people's intentions do. Especially when they think your wrinkles make you blind, your slow walk makes you stupid, and your quietness makes you powerless. I raised my son, Thomas, with the belief that family isn't just blood, it's loyalty, sacrifice, and standing by one another no matter how hard life hits. But somewhere between his corporate job, his perfect suburban life, and his wife's obsession with modern solutions, he forgot the values I taught him. It started small, comments about how independence gets harder with age, how dad shouldn't live alone, how it's unsafe for him to manage the house, even though I still cooked, cleaned, drove, and exercised daily. They called it concern. I called it calculation. And then one afternoon, everything became painfully clear. I was coming down the stairs when I heard my daughter-in-law, Miranda, whispering loudly on the phone, the kind of whisper that isn't meant to be discreet at all. "Yes, we'll take the biggest private room," she said. "He'll adjust, old people don't need much." My heart froze. She wasn't talking about someone else. She was talking about me. Thomas walked into the room and she whispered, "We have to do it before he changes anything legally. If he stays in that house any longer, he'll ruin our plans." Ruin our plans? I felt my pulse in my fingertips. I wasn't dying. I wasn't weak, and I certainly wasn't incapable. I was a man who had survived collapsing roofs, smoke inhalation, explosions, and now my own family was trying to box me into a facility like I was a broken television they needed to store away. I didn't confront them. No, firefighters learn quickly. Never rush into danger without a plan. So I pretended I hadn't heard anything. I acted exactly the way they wanted me to, quiet, slow, tired. Meanwhile, I was already thinking 3 steps ahead. Step 1, secure my home. My house wasn't just property, it was the place I built with my late wife, Margaret, the home where we raised Thomas, the home where every crack, every dent, every picture frame had a memory. I wasn't about to let anyone steal that from me. So the next morning, before the sun came up, I quietly visited my lawyer, an old friend named Peterson. We updated my will, placed my home into an irrevocable trust under my direct control, and added a clause that no medical or residential decision could be made on my behalf unless I personally signed for it. To make sure they couldn't forge anything, I registered my signature digitally and legally. Peterson shook his head and said, "Arthur, I've seen children do cruel things, but yours." This was smart timing, I nodded. Well, I spent my life planning escapes for people trapped in fires. I can plan one for myself too. Step 2, gather evidence. Miranda was smart, manipulative, controlling, obsessed with image, but careless. She always talked too loudly on calls, assuming I couldn't hear. So, over the next few weeks, every time she visited, I turned on the little recorder in my pocket. I captured everything, her conversations with the nursing home, her calling me dead weight, her telling Thomas to push him into signing early, her claiming that once I was inside, we'll handle the house situation quietly. Then there were screenshots from the family computer. They had left tabs open, searching legal ways to transfer property from elderly parents. They also had emails promising to move Arthur in next month. Every piece of their scheme, I collected it. Firefighters know. Evidence is the difference between rumor and truth. Step 3, wait for them to make their move. And oh, they did. One Saturday morning, Thomas and Miranda showed up early. All smiles, holding a box of pastries, the way guilty people always overcompensate. "Dad, we need to talk," Thomas said, voice shaking. I knew what was coming, but I let him speak. "We think it's time you move somewhere with more support," he began. "Somewhere safe?" Miranda added, fake softening her voice. "We found a really nice facility, private room, staff, everything you need." "We already paid the deposit," Thomas admitted. I stared at them, my own son, my boy, talking to me like I was luggage to be shipped off. Then they brought the paperwork. "Just sign here," Miranda said, tapping the line aggressively. Her confidence was almost insulting, but I didn't sign. Instead, I asked calmly, "Has this already been finalized?" "Pretty much," she said too quickly. "Your room is ready, my room." I felt the same sinking feeling I used to get when walking into burning buildings, but this time the fire was my family. That was the moment I stood up, reached into my drawer, pulled out the thick folder I had prepared, and placed it on the table. "Before I sign anything," I said, "there's something you both should see." Miranda frowned. "What is this?" "Proof," I said. And then I opened the folder. Their faces drained color as the recordings played. Miranda's voice calling me a financial obstacle, Thomas agreeing that Dad won't fight back. Emails about the nursing home. Notes about selling my house. The look on their faces, shock, fear, guilt, was the kind of silence that could drown a room. "Dad, this isn't," Thomas whispered. "It is exactly what it looks like," I said. "And before you say anything else, let me tell you something. I am not going anywhere." Then I handed them the legal papers, the trust files, the medical authority forms, the property protection documents. "You can't move me," I said. "You can't touch my home. You can't override my decisions. You can't take anything from me." "You underestimated the wrong old man," Miranda snapped. "You're being dramatic." "No," I said. "You were being greedy." Thomas put his face in his hands. He couldn't even look at me. "And Miranda?" She grabbed her purse, screamed that I ruined everything, and stormed out the door. Thomas followed her, but before leaving, he turned to me with tears in his eyes. "Dad, I didn't mean—" "You didn't stop her," I said. "That's worse." He left without another word. A month passed. Miranda filed for divorce. She blamed him for choosing his father over their future. Thomas apologized 100 times. I accepted some of them, but trust takes longer to rebuild. And me? I stayed right where I intended, to my home, my life, my freedom. Every morning I watered Margaret's roses. Every afternoon I sat on our porch swing. Every night I slept peacefully, knowing I saved myself before anyone could trap me. Because they tried to put me in a nursing home, but I was 3 steps ahead the whole time.